Had no need to fight tonight.
Hey guys, welcome back to another video, and in today's video we're going to be taking a look at the top 10 guns inside of Apex Legends Mobile. Now this list is going to be applicable to both multiplayer and battle royale. And yeah, just before we get into the video, make sure you guys go ahead and subscribe if you haven't already, and also join my Discord server, link in description down below. But yeah, without further ado, let's just go ahead and hop into it. Coming in at the number 10 spot, we have the Havoc Rifle. Now, in my opinion, the Havoc Rifle is the best weapon out of all the energy weapons. I think it's just more reliable, it's got a bit better movement, it takes a bit less time to charge up. And yeah, overall, I think it is just the best energy rifle. Now, I do think that one of the downsides is the charge up that it has. Sometimes it can take a bit longer to charge up. But other than that, I reckon it's a pretty solid gun, and it's definitely deserving of a top 10 placement on this list. Coming in at the number 9 spot, we have the Triple Take. Now, the Triple Take is one of the few snipers in this game. It has a pretty fast fire and the damage output is pretty good as well. And it obviously gives you an advantage at longer ranges. However, I just don't think that snipers in this, in Apex at least, are as good as snipers in COD Mobile. So I think that it's pretty deserving of a number 9 spot, but I wouldn't go as far as to put it anywhere upwards. The way I would use this weapon is to have like an assault rifle or an SMG, and then use just as a sniper as a backup. And yeah, that's pretty much the best way to rock this gun. Now, in this little clip that I have here, I was using two guns. I was using the Mozambique and the Prowler. And since they're in the same clip and I was interchanging between them, I might as well just put them together. So the Mozambique is at the number 8 spot and the Prowler is at the number 7 spot. And the Prowler is going to be tied with the Hemlock since they're both pretty much the same gun. They're both burst, which obviously means they won't be as reliable as, you know, full auto guns, especially if you start missing bullets. But as you can see, the Mozambique over here, it's a pretty decent shotgun for close range. It's pretty light and compact, and it's pretty fun to use. I think that every weapon on this list, you can make them all viable just by putting the right weapon combinations, since you do have 2 weapon slots. So I think this clip is a great example of how, you know, using something a bit more long, medium range, such as the Prowler and the Hemlock, for those types of fights is quite useful, and then using the Mozambique for your more close range fights is pretty useful. So especially playing around with Gibby here, I'm able to take out a lot of squads, and I'm out of ammo there, so I pull out the Mozambique to finish them off, and there we go. And yeah, so that's the Mozambique number 8 spot, and the Prowler / Hemlock at the number 7 spot. Coming in at the number 6 spot, we have the Alternator. Now, the Alternator is a more SMG type weapon, and it does use light ammo. Now, I would say that the Alternator is a bit easier to use for less skilled players, and it's just a, you know, easier gun to use overall. While the time to kill isn't really the best on this weapon, especially in like PC console, that's where I got this from. It virtually has no recoil, and it's got pretty great movement as well, and light ammo is also quite common. So it's just a very easy gun to use. If you pick it up, you'll be completely fine. You can use it. I'd probably recommend close to medium ranges with this gun, but since it has low recoil, you could try and use it long range, but I probably wouldn't recommend that. It's overall a pretty user-friendly weapon. Coming in at the number 5 spot, we have the Peacekeeper tied with the Mastiff. I do think the Peacekeeper is a little bit better than Mastiff. However, the Peacekeeper is very hard to find compared to the Mastiff, which is why I've tied them. Now, the Mastiff is one of those guns that you'll find absolutely everywhere, and it's honestly one of the best shotguns that you can get. I think one of the best ways to play with the Mastiff is to use the Agent Gibby. You can just play in and out of his special ability, the Dome, and it's just super useful, as you saw in that clip right then. But yeah, 2 of the best shotguns in the game, and not much else to say about it. Just very good at close range, very good at playing around opponents, chuck in some movement, and you'll be right. Coming in at the number 4 spot, we have the Wingman. Now, the Wingman, I would say, is one of the more high-skilled weapons of this game. So if you're new to the game and your aim isn't quite good or you haven't found your sensitivity yet, I would not recommend using the Wingman. The Wingman is for experienced players who can hit their shots. If you do hit your shots with this gun, it's capable of one-magging anyone, and since it's like a pistol with a really fast fire, you'd find that pretty surprising, but this thing deals a lot of damage. So close to medium range, possibly even long range if you wanted. This thing, like, as you can see in these clips here, like, just destroying people. It's crazy. Yeah, that's the Wingman at the number 4 spot. Coming in at the number 3 spot, we have the Flatline. The Flatline is one of the best all-rounders in the game. You're able to use this gun at medium range, close range, long range, whatever you like, and it's going to be extremely effective wherever you're using it. One of the other things that's good with the Flatline is that the hip firing is very good, which does boost its close range capabilities. But yeah, the Flatline is just one of those guns that when you pick it up, you just can't go wrong with it. It's easy for everyone to use. Recoil is fairly controllable. The ammo is pretty easy to pick up. You can find the ammo everywhere. And it's just really fun to use in general. Honestly, you could even put this gun at the number 2 spot. Coming in at the number 2 spot, we have one of the most aggressive weapons in the game, and that is the R99. Now, the R99 is a close range SMG, and you're basically able to one-mag close range if you hit enough shots and you have a big enough ammo. However, the one downside with this gun is that it lacks range and that the recoil is a little bit high, which means that it does require a little bit of skill to use this weapon, and it's also a bit situational. So when you're going for long range, I probably wouldn't recommend using this gun. When you do equip this gun, I'd recommend putting on a secondary that does have a bit of longer range, such as, for example, a sniper or like an LMG or an AR if you like. Overall, I'd say that the R99 is the most viable weapon at close range, and it can also be used at medium range if you can control the recoil. So yeah, that's the R99 at the number 2 spot. Coming in at the number 1 spot, we have the R301. The R301 has got to be your go-to rifle. It's got very low recoil, it uses light ammo, which is basically the most common ammo in the game. It's really, really easy to use overall, it's got great movement, and iron sight is pretty decent, and it just feels very, very clean. And it also has some of the best range in the game. You know, close range, it's super good. Medium range, it's amazing, and long range is also amazing as well. So this gun is really just usable in any situation possible, and I think that it's just the best overall gun in the game. And I think that's just the case hands down. Like, you literally can't argue. If you use this gun, you'll know what I'm talking about. It is so cracked. But yeah, that's going to be the top 10 guns in Apex Legends right now. I'm not sure how big the changes will be to the meta once the global launch comes, but if there are any changes, just rest assured I'll make a video on it. And yeah, thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Cheers.